I've got a year and 1 month.
Okay.
That I'm in my early 30s.
Starting to feel the pressure?
Oh, my God. I got to do something crazy. I can't just go into my mid-30s with a nature camp under my belt.
That's on your tombstone. Here lies Kyle. He once made a camp for birds and clouds and trees. And that's going through a heck of a lot more than I'm going through.
Yeah. 3 weeks ago, you made her go pick up sticks. 2 weeks ago, you made her drive I don't know what the hell that was, a lawn boat. Thing was massive.
Lawn boat. Some call it a tractor. The dark cloud that has been looming over me for about 10 months.
For God's sake, the man has a child on the way. He'll take break even.
They're coming to repossess the house.
He'll even take a slight loss to get this cinder block of debt off of his chest.
Should we do it? Should we get it out of the way right now?
Yeah.
It is Sunday, June 2nd, 2019, the year of our Lord. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Part of me likes to make people wait. Nicky.
Yeah. The only one that actually cares about this stupid statistic of us saying the date.
But it is much more fair if you just get it up. Well, and it's where it is on most every podcast anyway. Mm-hmm. At the start.
Yeah.
Most shows don't begin with an 8-minute discussion about a fictional nature camp.
No. That
the two hosts would like to open, where you look at clouds, trees, squirrels, and birds.
Yeah. And the fact that it's a podcast, there's no need to say what the date is.
There really isn't. We could drop that whole gimmick from the top of our shows, but we can't now.
Because we've been doing it 150 times today.
What? This is it?
I think.
Oh, my goodness.
This is the big 150.
Oh, well, I feel terrible. I didn't get you anything.
Nah, I didn't get you anything either.
We'll have to have to go out for celebratory drinks very soon.
We do have to do that for a myriad of reasons. It's a major podcast milestone was reached here in the last couple of days. Don't want to give too many details on that, because a lot of it's just insider nuts and bolts stuff that most people wouldn't care about. But yes, I've just received word from me that this is the 150th episode.
Wow, congratulations, Steve.
Congratulations to you, too.
Can't be said enough.
It takes a village to...
village, you mean two of us?
It takes two of us and a handful of very dedicated listeners.
Handful's accurate. Handful is very accurate. Now, where did you think? Because 150.
So we're close to the actual 3-year anniversary of the day that we recorded our first episode.
The day we recorded the lost episode was in April. I believe the date of
I thought it was in like June.
The date we recorded the actual first episode was June 18. Oh. And that was released on June 23rd.
Okay, so the lost episode was recorded on June 11th.
I don't believe you.
No, it definitely was. It was recorded June 11th, and then our technical first episode was July 19th.
Okay, so June and July. I got you. So yep. I was a month off. Okay, so we're a little bit further away, but July 19th, was that recorded in July?
It was, yeah, I think so. I think it was recorded in July.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So 150.
Like sands through the hourglass. The Steve and Kyle podcast flows on.
This podcast
is saying, right?
Brought us many riches, none of them financial.
No. Most of them candy oriented. We are candy rich. We are monetary poor, though.
Candy rich, monetary poor. We've had the lovely experience of traveling to Boston, Cheers Bar.
A couple of very memorable road trips.
We've traveled to Van Wert, Ohio to see our billboard with our faces on it.
Man, this is going to make a great documentary one day.
Yeah, God, you and I now need to disband for like 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
We need to have a big blow up, preferably on air, to juice those numbers.
Yes.
We just lob personal, hate-filled, tantrums at each other, and then you upload that episode at normal Tuesday morning, 7 a.m., and then we kind of fade away for 2 to 3 years, and then we reconnect and we start
get the people talking a little bit. We don't
Yeah.
post anything on social media.
Yep.
Nothing. But then maybe 2.5, 3 years from now, we post a cryptic tweet.
Yeah.
That says like, the time is almost here. And then the 4 people that are still following us.
Yeah, there's three
like
three likes.
Me, you, probably our wives, and maybe Nikki.
Maybe Philip.
Yeah, Philip. Philip will still he'll draw something about it.
And then we come back to lower rated numbers than we had before.
Don't reference the 3-year hiatus.
Yeah, just act like, when we were here last week.
By then we'll both have like 3 kids.
Yep. That's how we do it, and that's how we get ourselves our very own 30 for 30.
Yes.
To where we can work our way back into the limelight. So when we approach the 30 for 30 company and they say, "Who are you again?" And then we can explain to them what we just did to everybody now, except we inflate everything and talk about our highly successful merchandise store.
What have I told you? That a podcast that was once lowly rated is even lower rated after a 3-year hiatus.
What if I told you a fractured friendship was no match for the candy riches of a returning podcast?
What if I told you that the only reason they got back together is because they finally ran out of York peppermint patties?
That without begging for the approval from their handful of listeners, they found difficulty finding meaning in life.
The Living in Style Podcast Network, in association with ESPN, proudly presents the Steve and Kyle Podcast. Where did they go?
Why?
This summer. Oh, boy. To be noted, everyone needs to know that, of course, my microphone started collapsing
For God's
midway
sake.
through that.
Listen.
Look, if somebody wants to do something truly helpful for this podcast,
What, buy a table?
all right, the candy's great, but if you could find me one of those Yeti caster microphone arms, preferably in black.
No, I don't want that beautiful brand new equipment here. That's a waste. This is an absolute waste. If you want to do anything, you donate to our merchandise cause, which is going to APS 4.0 2020 Never.
Yeah, you just need to buy
a lot.
Let's see,
Our margins are super low.
Yeah, about 70 T-shirts.
Yeah, it's very low.
That should get us there, though.
Very low. Buy them as gifts for everybody, Steve. Mm-hmm. Buy them for your family, your friends, people who don't know who Steve is, people who don't know who the side gig is, but
That's fine.
doesn't matter. Maybe they appreciate they can't even appreciate Calvin and Hobbes. That got yanked. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe they appreciate, the caricature filter that most phones have as the
Look,
standard filter.
in the times of the early days of this podcast,
Sure.
those filters weren't available yet.
Yeah, and so by the early days, you're referencing 2016.
3 years ago, yes. Yeah, probably I'm going to say April, maybe May. No, actually it was probably around March.
Yeah.
Because that's when the preparations were being made for this very podcast.
It was April.
Well, but the preparations were being made for about a month leading up to that. I had ordered the equipment and sending you texts.
Oh,
Hey, man,
yeah, that's right.
When are we
that's
going to
right.
record?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I hear that you're going to space camp.
Yeah.
And you were up in space for a little while.
Quick hit. Just a
Just
quick hit around the
couple
International
orbits.
Space Station. Saw the moon. And then said, "Yeah,
Not for me.
nah, for me. Get me back."
Came back. Luckily, the tiles didn't burn up on re-entry.
Yeah, or the one piece of foam chips off by a half an inch too much, and
Right.
so the entire
And then you're vaporized.
and then the whole thing just blows up. And what? There has to be a better way, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you would think that they would come up with some fancy space metal.
But I say this now that fully aware that Elon Musk is shooting rockets and hoping they land on a boat, and half of them are just fizzling into an open
Yeah.
farm. it's amazing to me that we even made it to the moon.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why so many people, well, I don't want to say so many people, but I think that's why some people believe that the moon landing was a hoax. They say that even today we don't possess the capability, like we're not technologically savvy enough to go to the moon.
Does that come up? Because this is the 50th anniversary, I believe, right?
Yeah, it would have been 1969.
September in 1960. Yep. That's wrong. The moon landing, the Soviets' Luna 2 was September 13th in 1959.
No, we're talking about man. Yeah. We're talking about man on the moon.
Yep.
69.
July 20.
Yeah.
So maybe you and I plan
to go to the moon?
We're
going to the moon?
Live show. You and I plan a little anniversary party
for the moon landing.
And our 3rd anniversary.
I mean, could NASA have planned it any better? So
we do a couple.
Ago?
We do. We kind of rotate segments where we talk about the history of this podcast and what we've accomplished. Not much. And then we take a quick break.
Moon landing.
Then we talk moon landing. Maybe get an astronaut on. Do you know an astronaut?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Can this finally be the episode, the outdoor episode that we've been talking about for 3 summers now?
You have to clarify because there's been a lot of discussion about different outdoor episodes. The very first discussion of an outdoor episode was we were going to record while goats ate your tall grass.
That was a recurring theme in the first summer.
And
summer of 16, we did talk at great length. Maybe into 17. This may have been a 2-year.
Listen, we didn't have much material back then.
We still don't, because now we're just talking about what we talked about 3 years ago. Does anyone want to just give us a transcript of 3 years ago and we can read it?
Would there be now? There's court stenographers who have to transcribe the most mundane garbage ever. I don't think there's a worse job than asking somebody to transcribe this.
Boy, I wonder how many pages that would be. Like on an average episode.
You can
hour and 45, 2 hours.
A transcriber. Should we look into having?
Never mind. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that because if I go into because we post these episodes on YouTube.
Yeah.
And if you turn on closed captioning, it'll auto generate.
Full script.
It'll auto-generate closed captions for it, and you can then go in and copy and paste that script.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
So you'd rather...
You have to wait screen grab by screen grab, wouldn't you?
No. You don't. You can go in because I never knew that that's how it worked until a couple of months ago, a video that I posted for the side gig. Mm-hmm. The closed captions, by the way, are... I would say they're accurate about 80% of the time. If it's just one person talking and there's nothing in the background, they're great. Yeah. But like with the side gig, there's always somebody talking over each other or music playing in the background or something. So somebody alerted me. They said, hey, just so you know, your closed caption for today's episode said, and it was a terrible word. And I went in there and I listened to it. I'm like, well, that's definitely not.
Oh, no.
Not what was said. But I was able to go in and edit the closed caption for it.
Okay,
but it pulled up like timestamps and everything.
That's nice, but so it might not be 100% accurate.
Doesn't matter. Probably makes just as much sense as when it was said by us.
Because what I have here is a 12-hour turnaround time, 99% accuracy.
Okay,
for $1 per audio minute.
That's a lot. It costs us like $100 an episode.
Yeah, boy, we're only gonna be able to do like one of those a year. I have to pick a real monumental episode. And again, there's no purpose for this.
No.
I figure we get a cut, we sign scripts.
I would want to hear... that's a funny idea. To have it printed out like a movie script.
Yeah.
And then we sign copies of it. Maybe the episode where we came up with the idea for the Limbs for Limbs charity box off.
Because I want
dogs.
somebody in a cubicle with headphones on,
reading along.
Their computer that's been locked by the company, just they'll only have one text program, and they click play, and about 20 minutes in, we're talking about celebrities hanging from wires, boxing each other with an audience of limbless dogs.
I love this.
Could we just isolate that audio clip?
No, I think we got to do the whole thing, and it has to be
about
formatted.
$100.
Formatted. Well, no, we'll split it up. I'll do like... If it's a 2-hour episode, I'll do the first hour, you do the second hour.
Oh, we're doing the work now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oof, you lost me.
And we'll format it just like a script, so it'll no doubt be 200 pages long.
I did find a different company. Now, I have a feeling this is slightly less accurate.
Okay.
It's 10 cents per minute.
Oh, look at that. We've already gone from $100 down to $10.
That's $10.
I'm in.
At $10, we're getting...
Done. Say no more. I'll find the episode. You coordinate it all. I'll pay the $10.
Try it now for free. So I'm curious, because my only fear is that we're paying them for them to upload it to YouTube and copy paste the captions and say that they've done the work.
It could be. That's a shrewd business move.
Ooh.
Hey, Steve here for the Steve and Kyle Transcription Company. You need audio transcribed?
That's SKTC if you're keeping track of it.
Yeah, it's a spin-off of our Living in Style podcast network. You know somebody who needs something transcribed? Yeah. We're the guys to do it. Just $3 a minute.
Boy, you're coming in higher than I anticipated, but it's...
Look, man, I'm not at this to, do charity work.
Well, you've got two celebrities doing your...
Yep.
Doing your transcription work, folks.
Mm-hmm.
You just... I can't even actually think that. So you pay the premium. It's like you wouldn't go to cameo.com, to have Johnny Nobody to say happy birthday to your cousin.
No.
You'd go there to have the big dogs.
Mm-hmm. Heath
big
Ledger.
Time celebrity.
Is that not? Is he not a...
James Gandolfini.
JG. Tony S. The Sop Man.
Alan Thicke.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm out of dead celebrities.
That's it. That's all you can come up with.
Two. Gandolfini and Thicke. Two icons of their generation. Man. Okay. Yeah, I think we need to do that. We still have limited edition posters to give away that we had to we were supposed to figure out a way to give those away from our trip to Van Wert.
Oh, that's right. We do. I forgot about that.
4 or 5 of those.
Okay.
And now we're going to purchase and print scripts of this podcast out.
Yeah. And I want them bound.
Oh, there's no question.
Like with the spiral thingy.
3-hole punch.
No.
You don't even want that?
I want the
okay.
It's like the plastic ring that has a ton of little rings in it.
Yeah.
That's what we need. It's got to look, and it has to be in that typeface font.
Oh yeah,
so it looks like a typewriter.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're doing that, and on
maybe
the front page,
I know
say
we'll
the
do.
Steve and Kyle podcast, and then we'll come up with a fake title for that episode.
Brew a cup of coffee and put it down on the front page to give it a coffee ring. Maybe some eat some Cheetos or Cheesy Poofs so we can get our fingerprints on it.
Boy, if we had a charity that I cared about, we could gain $15-20 for that charity by giving away some of the stuff we have.
Oh, the Limbless Dogs Association.
Oh, yeah, so we'll donate all the proceeds.
The Limbless Dogs Association,
yep,
LLDA.
2 words. Limbless. The LLDA is obviously the recipient of all of the proceeds from our charity box off featuring celebrities.
Hanging on wires like Rock'em Sock'em Robots with dogs in attendance.
Well, Steve, I mentioned I didn't get you a gift for the 150th, and I apologize. But I received a package in the mail.
I see that.
We got a gift.
Sitting right here.
From our friend of the show. She is the winner of the only time we've given anything away for the NCAA Bracket Challenge.
And actually followed through on it.
It took a year.
Okay.
Until we sent her a garbage package. Our friend Crystal. Crystal sent us a package. A big box arrived at my doorstep, Steve, the other day.
Hey, folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
Seamless edits. Love it. Ooh. Okay, so this showed up at your house. Now, your wife opened it thinking it was something for the family,
yeah.
But no.
No, we don't get packages of value at that house.
No, nothing like this. So she opened it looked in, realized it was podcast related,
Yep.
closed it back up. So you haven't looked in it yet.
Nope, I have not. Nope.
This is a big package too. This is
it's a big box.
very big box from Kohl's. It looks like. I don't know if the product is actually from Kohl's or not.
I hope it's like a nice fleece jacket.
Oh, that would be nice, like a Patagonia.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Crystal, you shouldn't have.
That's very nice of you.
All right, so you just want me to...
Yeah, dig in. I don't know how it's laid out. All right.
Oh, something
I
very
see
nicely
some
wrapped.
wrapping paper.
Okay. Must be opened together, the note says.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm assuming, let's see, top one labeled Kyle. It's very soft. It could be a fleece.
Ooh, a Patagonia, man.
Maybe a bathrobe.
Ooh.
Now, I'm assuming that since they must be open together, that it's because they're the same thing. But hold on. Time out.
Oh, time out.
Something great was sandwiched in between your gift and my gift.
Okay. Oh!
Kit Kat Darks.
Yes!
All right.
Oh, my God. You have no idea. So this is perfect timing, Steve, as 1 week ago,
We finished
you and I consumed our very last Dark
We
Kit
did.
Kat. The Dark Kit Kat collection had run dry.
Yes. All right, so back to the gifts here. Now there's both of them exact same size. That's why
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're the exact same thing. Both have letters on top, or cards on top. Let's see here. What do we have here? Oh, get ready for the adventure of a lifetime.
Babies don't take up much room, but they sure do fill your heart.
Oh, that's adorable. Steve, wishing you all the love, happiness, and excitement that new babies bring. Congrats on baby girl McKiernan. Sincerely, Crystal. Thank you very
That's what
much,
yours
Crystal.
says?
That's lovely.
Can I see that? Let me see.
Yeah. It's yours.
Huh.
What? What happened? Oh, look. There's a little moose sticker.
Congrats on your mediocre raising of Reed.
Yeah, that's definitely what it says. Definitely what it
I
says.
feel like
Oh, look. You got a little whale sticker, though.
there's just a little bit of different sentiment.
Yeah, hold on. Let me read mine again. Maybe I misread it. You can reread yours, too. Wishing you all the love, happiness, and excitement that new babies bring. Congrats on baby girl McKiernan. Sincerely, Crystal. That's so nice. One more time.
Congrats on your mediocre raising of Reed.
Oh, that's weird. Your card just went flying across the room. Thank you, Crystal. That was extremely nice of you. At least half of us think that.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait for this to be. She weighed these two back. It's just going to be the exact same weight as yours, but dog poop.
It's just a blanket that says F you.
I eagerly anticipate. Again, I sent her a gift package from my home, and this is the follow.
Thanks, you get. All right. Well, who knows? Maybe she makes up for it. And this, you ready? All right.
Very nice paper, high quality paper,
it's
Steve.
fleece. It could be a Patagonia.
I don't buy this type of wrapping paper, Steve. It's out of my tax bracket.
Oh, look at this adorable blanket.
Oh yes, look at that.
It's got giraffes and
There's a lion,
a little mouse, and a lion, and a zebra.
I got the zebra. Oh my goodness!
Oh, this is beautiful.
Is that? I don't think it's a mouse, Steve. I think it's an elephant.
Is it? Oh yeah, it's got the trunk. Yes, it is. Yeah, that wouldn't make sense.
Well, that is beautiful.
No, I guess there may be mice in the jungle, but I don't know. Are there giraffes in a jungle?
Giraffes in a desert? Nope, that's a camel.
Dude, if I'm in the Amazon, am I seeing a giraffe? Am I seeing an elephant?
So you're rounding the corner.
Maybe it's more zoo related.
You think you're rounding the corner though? There's a crocodile and a giraffe fighting.
Could be.
Maybe a boa constrictor jumps in there.
Yeah.
And then the elephant wipes them all out.
But we digress. These are beautiful blankets.
Yeah, that's
it's
outstanding.
Nice heavy fleece,
Oh,
too.
so soft.
Hold on. Let me just wrap myself in.
I can't wait to use this.
I believe it's probably for the child.
Huh?
Yeah, but the baby's real small. They don't need that whole blanket.
I mean, this is human size. What's that little jackass going to do with it?
This is awesome, Crystal. Thank you.
That is incredibly thoughtful.
Is this a thing that can be made?
No. This is straight out of the sweatshops.
They print it out.
Somalia.
3D print it.
Straight out of Somalia, some teenager left his iPhone job, went to the blanket factory for two more than privileged white guys in the middle of Michigan.
I'll tell you what. If the person that made this blanket in that sweatshop happens to be listening, we got a job for you. Transcribing episodes.
Oh, boy.
We'll pay you double what they're paying you at the blanket factory.
You heard that right, 13-year-old. More work coming your way.
No, I mean, look, this is going to be something that they can do like in their off time. You know, in the 2 hours a day that they're not already working.
Crystal, this is fantastic.
This is wonderful.
Thank you for the blanket, and also, just as importantly, thank you for the updated trash box that we have.
That's right. Yeah, we do need a garbage can every now and then in here.
Yeah.
We always seem to run out of places to stash our candy wrappers, so this box, perfect.
Now, for the time being, I'll go ahead and set this on the bundle of wires and cables that we have next to me, because since you've taken the photograph, Steve, 6 weeks ago, of the disaster that this room is,
nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed. The bundle of cables still there, posters still here. I've got rolled up posters on the ground to the left of me. Rocky Balboa staring me down. Mm-hmm. The Mighty Mac sitting next to Rocky.
Barf.
I guess everything's on the candy shelf now.
Yeah. Got that? So I have to ask you a question.
The mediocre raising of Reed.
I have to ask you a question.
Shoot, yeah.
Because there was a time in this podcast history where you went, was it 100 episodes?
Yes.
Wearing a combination of 4 shirts?
Yeah.
And I didn't notice?
Yeah, so it was a rotation, and every 4 weeks would be the exact same shirt, and they were all the same theme. But yeah, so it's 100 weeks, so 25 wears of each shirt in the exact same rotation since the starting week.
Have you started again?
No.
Because I thought that that's a Spider-Man one you have on, right?
Yeah, so this is a mix of Spider-Man and Venom. Yeah, I've realized I have more comic book related shirts than anything.
Because I thought that I had noticed that there was a recurring Spider-Man theme over the last couple of weeks.
No.
So I wanted to get out in front of it just in case.
Just to make sure you weren't had again. I mean,
so I don't feel like an idiot. We're 2 years from now when you're like, hey, I've been wearing the same shirt every day.
We're at a state now where I wouldn't do anything that might take 100 weeks. You quickly forget. 2 weeks ago, we quit.
We did, yeah. We stopped this whole thing.
And then we just came back.
Yeah,
like we never actually quit.
Out of habit.
It'd be like if you walked in, told your employers at the side gig tomorrow, I quit, and then showed up the next day anyway.
Just kidding. Wasn't that a Seinfeld plot? I think George did that.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think he quit, and then he just showed back up and tried to be like, no, that was all just a joke.
That's... I'm not starting anything that's going to take 100 weeks to pull the wool over your or anybody's
that just seems
eyes.
Daunting. There's no chance I'd want to do that.
No, thank you.
No way.
One thing but again, thank you very much for the gift, Crystal. We always accept gifts. If you want the address,
we should probably close out of viewer mail time. Correct?
Hey folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
You run out of time there, Steve?
Yeah, I thought that viewer mail time intro was longer than 14
Hit it again,
seconds.
quick.
Hey folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
Just can't deny the awesome drawing power of a Chucky C. Jr.
It's kind of oppressively long, isn't it?
Yeah.
That intro?
I'll shorten it up for next time.
Jeez.
Maybe get the sweatshop boy that's going to be transcribing our episodes to do that as well.
Man, oh man. But we talked about this last week, and in an upset of all upsets, Steve, I did not forget
your movie ticket stubs
to talk about and create the quiz to ask you and Annette about your birth plan.
Oh, boy. Glad you brought that up, because I forgot. This is something that we're doing today, huh?
This is now. It's time. I have perfectly handcrafted a series of 10 questions.
All right.
Regarding the labor and birthing process of your unnamed baby girl.
Yes.
Estimated
named, by the
to
way.
arrive
I believe she's
in
named.
September. Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, oh, Pete. That is a surprising update. Now, this is one you're saving until the birth?
Yeah, we've had... we went back and forth on a bunch, but I think we've settled on it. We've been pretty much for the last 3 or 4 weeks, we've been like, yep, that's the name.
Now, have you cross-referenced it to, like, popular stripper names?
No, tried to figure out, like... Honestly, my main concern is that the name doesn't rhyme with something that's going to make a terrible schoolyard nickname, like Smelly Shelly or something like that.
Right. You can't have that.
Yeah, like Fat Pat. Nobody wants that. Oh, hey, that was a rhyme. Fat Pat. Nobody wants that. So yeah, I think we're settled. I think we have a name.
Now, I'm not going to ask because obviously you said you're saving it, but have you thought about is it related to anything you guys both like? Have you taken it from pop culture or something like that?
No, it was just a name that we both like.
Okay.
So
now, do we want any music, like some tension music? Do we have anything that we can play underneath here?
Do you want me to find like baby music?
Yeah, that's not bad. Maybe just some cooing.
Okay.
Which by the way, it doesn't happen. Prepare yourselves now.
Lola.
Cooing is not going to happen.
Oh God, Lola just ripped one.
The farm, the zoo animals have just rolled in. Well, -1.
This, by the way, is a gift from Crystal. She sent us a lovely, lovely blanket. All right, 2 hours super relaxing baby music.
Yeah,
bedtime
hit that.
lullaby.
Yeah,
for
bedtime
sweet
lullaby. Steve, it is time for your birth plan quiz. Oh, that's real nice. Is that only playing outside?
Sure is. Sure is.
Crying out loud. 150 episodes. We can't get an input.
Can't get it right.
Can't get an input correctly.
I don't know why, man. It was playing through the TV. That's
Just an embarrassment.
I mean, surely it'll work flawlessly here. Hey.
Oh, all right, Steve. Can we get you some candy, Annette, while you wait? We've got York peppermint patties. We've got Pearson's patties. Don't eat those.
We got a Chuck E. C. Jr. over there.
Yeah, we got some Charleston Chew minis.
Go for it.
If you're in the mood, just pop a candy cig.
Well,
maybe,
it's just candy. They're not allowed to be called candy cigarettes.
Maybe a mouthful of some BLC.
Yeah.
So again, Annette, for your ears, I have perfectly crafted a list of 10 questions regarding the labor and birthing process that we are now 3 months away from estimated due date that you guys have not discussed yet.
Right. Yeah, no, we haven't. In fact, I think I said before we started recording that at one point Annette said, I was like, hey, don't forget, you're going to be on the podcast this week. And she said, yeah, I couldn't fall asleep last night, so I looked up birth plan. That was the extent of our discussing it over the last week.
Now, if I may ask, when is I believe you said you're going to do one of those classes.
Yeah, we have a couple of classes scheduled.
When is that coming up?
They're all in the calendar. I think like one is in...
Is it close to the due date, or is it closer to now?
Let's see. We have, nothing this month. I think everything is between July and August.
Okay. So yet another thing that poor Steve is sitting around just waiting. Another month goes by.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting for the gifts at the shower. Now he's waiting to find out about how to take care of an infant.
Yeah, no
clue. At these classes.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So it'll
just feed him, water him, give him some sunlight. They'll be good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, once a day. If it storms, you don't need to water.
Rotate him a bit.
Yep. Spin him. So, Steve,
all right, it's going to work. The way I've pictured this working is that I leave the room. You ask Annette the 10 questions.
Sure.
When you're done, I then come back in. You ask me the same 10 questions while Annette sits here and stares at me.
Yeah, wondering how you could think this about why she would give birth that way or do this.
Yeah.
Because, again, you haven't discussed this.
No.
It feels like it is, and it is a discussion to have, although your input, Steve, does not matter.
Meaningless.
Now, the last time you've had a discussion that you really wanted to stand your ground on, it was something at your wedding, if I recall. You wanted to see her for the very first time.
Oh, I thought you were going
to
bring up the great crockpot debate.
No, God. I wouldn't bring that up if I had to. Not with her in the room.
I get mad every time.
I mean, I wouldn't bring that up in a million years. But you wanted to stand your ground. You didn't want to take photos before the wedding because you wanted to see her for the very first time when she walked down the aisle. So
I don't think we really argued about that much.
You were both steadfast.
I think it was more stressful because it changed the timeline of how things were going to happen throughout the day.
Sure, you wanted to make everybody else wait. Annette simply wanted to get the party started.
Yeah.
In the name of, Italy tradition is how we do it in the motherland. Gabagool.
I'm pretty sure that was,
Was that the conversation?
Yep, word for word. Okay, so do you want me to leave now then?
Yeah, you go ahead and walk out. I will text you. This won't take long. It's 10 questions regarding the birthing and labor process that, again, Steve, a 38-year-old man, as of a week ago, has no idea about.
Make sure she gets right up on that mic.
Yeah, apparently you got to get right up on that mic. And also, I'd be weary about touching it. It's notorious for... It's notorious for collapsing, Annette, so beware. So,
I'll be upstairs.
Okay. All right. So, Annette, before we get started, anything you're particularly nervous about in the labor process or the, actual giving birth? Is it... Because the general idea, right, is that you're just afraid of it's going to hurt.
Yes.
That's the main concern, right?
Yeah, very, very.
But other than that, I'm assuming you're just like, every other person who's given birth to a baby. You just want a happy, healthy baby. And if whatever it takes to get there, you're willing to do it.
Right, yes.
So the birthing plan, Annette, now this is something that you develop and you think about, well, I want it this way if I can in the delivery room, or this way, or I'd prefer, this person to be there, that person to not be there, or whatever. Mood, lighting, sounds, whatever. Because that whole day, possible days, it's all going to be about making you the most comfortable.
Right.
So... your answers might differ from Steve's, but I think we all know how that's going to go anyway, and that's the way it should go. He's along for the ride that day.
Yeah.
So the first question to you, Annette, have you decided? Do you want a traditional birth, a water birth, or other?
Traditional, definitely.
So traditional. So you don't want to go lay in a hot tub,
no,
and shoot a baby out just like a jet.
Nope, don't want to do that.
That's not something you even considered.
No, well, no, because I think it's gross if you're sitting in all of that stuff then.
Well, and what happens, I had a friend who wanted to do this, give a water birth, and they realized that there were some issues which happen with the delivery. Nothing's ever the way you expect it. And they ended up having to leave the tub and be carried to the bed anyway.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And then you're right. There's just a mess.
Yeah.
And then a limp body because it can't walk.
Yeah.
A mess.
No
Okay,
thanks.
so traditional. And
Traditional.
I think Steve's probably the exact same way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have you decided, are you going to have the baby in a hospital?
Yes.
You're going to do it at home? You're going to do it at another setting?
No, hospital.
Now, you say hospital. Have you decided or have you considered they have the specialty suites? That essentially, it's like a big hotel room with bed. Are you ponying up the extra cash for the upgraded
I don't think so. I didn't
hotel
even know
room?
that was an option. So I don't think we're doing that.
I think you'd have to probably go to a separate place for that. Okay. Will anybody other than Steve be in the room with you?
Definitely not.
Not your mother?
No.
Not interested?
Nope.
They're being told, sit in the delivery room. I'll let you know. Or not in the delivery room. Sit in the lobby. We'll let you know.
Even. I don't know.
Really?
Well, when my sister had my nephew, it was like, hey, baby's here. And that's when we knew. It wasn't
wow, so there wasn't any waiting. Now, do you think, is your mom going to be okay with that?
I think so. I think with my sister, she was a little bit upset that, feeling like she couldn't come and be there when the actual stuff was happening.
Sure.
But I think that she's probably going to end up being the dog sitter.
Oh,
so
no.
Be like, hey, we're on the way to the hospital.
You need to go take care of it. And then you said that's your sister? Is going to do that?
No,
your
mom
mom's
will
going
do
to.
Yeah.
Because if it's anything like, most parents, I think I was telling my mom, hey, we'll let you know when it's close or whatever. Didn't matter. Mm-hmm. Still showed up about a half hour later and waited because they're just as excited as you are going to be nervous. I have a feeling that, you know what, it might end up being your mom, Lola, Toby, sitting out in the lobby waiting for the news.
Yep.
Now here's where we get into the minutia, Annette. Are you going to bank your cord blood or donate your cord blood?
Well, I haven't really researched that yet.
Do you know what that is? You're familiar with it?
Well, at our last appointment, they gave us a little brochure on that. And so I think I need to look into that more. I don't know how much it costs and what goes into that, but it would be interesting or good to maybe bank it because it seems like it can cure a lot of diseases or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Now, is that something that the discussion alone is going to gross either you or Steve out?
I don't think so.
Talking about that?
No, I think we'd talk about it.
Okay. Are you going to save your placenta?
No.
That's going bye-bye. That's getting shoveled into the trash can.
Right.
Get rid of everything, all the evidence. I don't want to see it.
Right.
Bye-bye. You don't want to plant a tree.
No.
Make a weird meal.
Nope. No, that's
okay.
Yuck.
So far, nothing out of the ordinary, right? I mean, this is pretty standard. Mm-hmm. Another bit of minutia. Will you be delaying your cord clamping?
I'm not sure what that is.
Okay. Now there's school of thought. Give birth to the baby. They want to keep the umbilical cord attached for anywhere between 2 and 5 minutes to increase the blood flow. So you can either have the cord cut quickly, be done with it, or you delay the cord clamping and allow the blood flow to stay to the baby.
It seems kind of gross to just let it stay there for a few minutes. But I guess a lot of things I think I'm just going to say whatever the doctor recommends, I'll go with.
And in a lot, I don't know if this is a straight preferential thing. Now, the World Health Organization suggests that late cord clamping is recommended. And most midwives even advise now to wait until the cord entirely quits pumping blood altogether.
I read something last night when I couldn't sleep that it you can see it pulse or something, and that really grossed me out when I was like, okay, so you're going to see this pulsing cord. Right. That's kind of
for
gross.
A few minutes while your baby's crying and is being, cleaned. Okay.
That sounds kind of gross to me. I don't think I would like that, but if it was really important to do it for whatever reason, then maybe I would go along with that. I don't know.
Will you be using a doula or midwife?
No. Nope.
Straight hospital staff?
Yes.
Now, is that something that you're not interested in? You just want the straight doctors and nurses handling things? Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's you're not getting swayed on that. Like if Steve said, "Hey, let's have this in a side room at a municipal building, and we'll have Henrietta the doula come take care of it."
That's too hippy dippy for us.
Okay. Goes along with a water birth. You don't want to shoot out a baby in a hot tub.
No.
And you don't want, again, somebody with a weird online certificate handling that as well.
Right.
Now, have you thought about what is your preferred method of pain management? Now, there's about 3 different levels. Mm-hmm. You can have the nitrous, which is the happy gas. Mm-hmm. Pain meds, which is essentially, not Tylenol or ibuprofen, upgraded pain medication, or an epidural.
I don't really want to do an epidural. The big needles scare me, and then not being able to feel half my body scares me.
It's terrifying, right?
Yeah.
But you're open to the pain meds and the happy gas?
I'll probably talk to my doctor about that a little bit, but I think I would probably want both of those things.
So you're not someone who you're sitting there on thinking, I want this 100% all natural, no drugs, no nothing. That's not a deal breaker for you.
Right.
If you get there and you realize, hey, this actually does hurt, you're willing to take pain meds.
I'm assuming that's going to happen.
Sure. I don't think you're going to walk around going, boy, this is a treat.
Right.
I can't wait to finish this.
Yeah.
Who will be changing the first diaper?
Oh, well, probably me, I guess.
You think now you're in a bed, presumably laid up in some fashion, whether it's if something happens, you have to have a C-section. Otherwise, movement's limited.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
You're not going to pawn that off on Steve.
I would love for it to. And maybe he'll be really excited. I don't know.
Nervous about the diaper changing aspect?
I don't think either of us have done it.
Okay.
At all.
So you got to get the experience doing it first.
Mm-hmm. We'll learn. We'll learn fast.
How do you work around, dogs throw up and have accidents, are you okay with that, or are you kind of turn your head and gag?
Turn my head and gag a little bit, but I'm 95% of the time I'm the one cleaning stuff up around here.
So Steve, you think Steve's going to have a bigger adjustment period to the diaper
think
changing?
so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The last question I have for you, pretty simple. Have you talked to Steve? Is he going to be, because you'll be in the hospital for presumably 2 days, something like that, if things go perfect. Will Steve be sleeping in the hospital room with you and the baby?
I haven't asked him.
What would you prefer? You want him to stay there?
Probably. I don't think I'd want to be left alone. I don't know.
I mean, alone is relative, obviously, right?
Right.
But it's different. It's not like your husband's there when you just have a nurse or doctor coming in every 2 hours. So
I bet he'll want to be there. That's my guess, is he's going to want to be there all the time.
You think so? You don't think he's going to be itching to sleep in his own bed and get 6 hours of sleep in a row?
No, I think he would be more afraid of missing out on something.
Okay.
And left out.
Because I slept there, and I'm not like a needy sleeper in terms of space or anything. It was the most uncomfortable I think I've ever been.
Well, he sleeps on the couch half the time anyway, so I don't.
So you think he might be?
I think he'll be fine.
He might be ready.
Mm-hmm.
Just a follow-up while Steve makes his way down. Who do you think's more nervous about the whole process? The labor, delivery? Is it you? Is it Steve?
About the whole process of the labor and delivery, maybe me.
You think
about
so? Because you're going through it, obviously, but a
Right.
lot of times that's a reality. I'm not saying it's hard for the partner at all, obviously, right? It's different. You're strictly there for support and everything. Okay, all right. That's what I would expect you to stay. All right, thank you, Annette. If you want to take a listen while your adoring husband, adoring father to your unborn child,
Hello, darling.
answers these questions assuredly the way you expect.
Oh boy.
Now, Steve, these are, and I think Annette would agree. There's nothing invasive, nothing to.
Still got the music playing.
Oh, I'm not turning that down. That's very soothing. So I asked Annette
it's 2 hours long.
the very first question, Steve.
Okay.
Now, again, I don't want you to answer for Annette.
I want to answer. Yeah, I'm going to
I
answer.
want you to
for
answer
me.
for how you would prefer. Now, we talked about this when going back to the wedding thing. You're a bit of a traditionalist. You didn't want to see her until she started walking down the aisle on your
Yes.
wedding day.
And I'm happy about that.
You didn't live together before marriage.
No, of course not. Nope.
Guys were living by the code that PK set down.
Mm-hmm.
So I ask you, Steve.
Yeah.
Do you prefer Annette have a traditional birth, a water birth, or other? Like a planned C-section?
I guess I would prefer that it be a traditional birth.
Okay. I think that's the correct answer, right?
Yeah.
I'll say this. That's what Annette said, too. She was pretty much anti-water birth.
Yeah.
So the idea of laying in a hot tub and, jet streaming a kid across the floor
Like a dolphin.
didn't intrigue her.
Okay, good.
And
yeah.
I
you know
agree.
something? But if she had said, I want to do water birth, I would have said, me too. Can't wait.
I mean, traditional's fine, but water's where it's at.
Yeah,
you know
I mean,
what I'm
look,
talking about.
It's going to be mid-September. The water's still going to be, weather's still going to be
you're
nice.
thinking it's going to be in a pool.
Yeah,
Oh,
of course.
Yeah, that is where water births mostly.
Yeah, outdoors.
You find, hey, kids, we got to clear the city pool out. We got this lady.
Yeah.
She's in a real mood. She's about to spit out a kid.
Adult Swim, kids.
Hit the road. You're not going to want to see what's about to happen over here.
Mm-hmm.
Steve,
Yes.
second question I have for you.
All right.
Do you want to have the baby at a hospital, at your home, or at any other setting, whether it be a,
Like an
wherever-
Arby's.
the highway, the skate park where you had your fondest memories as a kid.
I'm gonna go with hospital on
You
that.
don't want to have a home birth. Now, a lot of people
No.
are more comfortable at home. That doesn't intrigue you.
Yeah.
You don't want
No,
to
that's a big-
dirty up all the towels.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big cleaning fee.
Oh, you hire a company for that
Exactly,
too, right?
yeah, you're
You
gonna have to-
say, hey, we're gonna go take a day on the road.
Yeah. Let the merry maids come in.
Hire in the professionals to fix whatever this is.
Yeah. And I'm gonna assume that Annette would also like a hospital birth.
Annette does want a hospital birth. Annette straight down the middle, wants no frills.
No.
We talked about the online certified
Nope.
fake municipal building.
No.
She's not interested.
Not a chance.
Third question. Do you want anybody in the room other than you and Annette?
No.
You're telling your mother-in-law.
Yeah.
You're telling her no.
Well, I'm not, but she is. Annette, I know for a fact that there's no chance that Annette wants her mom in there.
All right, you line up. That's perfect. She said the exact same thing. So this has been, that aspect has been, maybe not discussed, but it has been brought
It's easy. Father of the year right here.
Steve?
Yeah.
We're about to dig into a little bit of the minutia here.
That's all right. I got it.
And by minutia,
Prediction 10 for 10.
Are you going to bank the cord blood?
Oh, boy.
Is this something you're familiar with?
Yeah, and we briefly discussed it a couple of weeks ago.
So you have had some random conversations here and there about some of these processes that, when we were all born, these weren't things.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm assuming I just get a yes and no option, right? I don't get a yes, no, maybe?
I'll let you answer. It's not strictly down the middle. I mean, So this is for anybody listening, and this is my fault. I should have explained. Banking your cord blood is the remaining blood that is in the placenta and the umbilical cord would be saved and utilized for stem cell research and help curing and hopefully curing and aiding in other disease research down the road.
I'm just going to have to say, I don't know. We have discussed it, but we haven't come to a solid conclusion.
What's the main drawback for you? Is there anything where you're like, because now obviously the incentives that we just go over.
I think that we just haven't discussed it enough.
Now it does, I believe you do pay.
Yeah, you do. You pay, and then you have to pay for storage too, I think, right?
See, for me, that's kind of...
Can't I just pop it in the freezer here? We just got this new fridge last year. It's really nice.
You might want to go
got
deep
some nice
for
deep
this.
drawers in it. Yeah, you put something down on the bottom.
Yeah,
it'll get lost for years.
3 years later, you realize you have a frozen bag of corn, an ice pack you haven't used, and you got one of those pint mugs that someone gave you at your wedding that you put it in the freezer and everything's already cold.
2 thumbs up for the groom or something.
And then under that is just a bag,
of blood
that says cord blood.
Yeah, you definitely pay for that.
Okay, so you're saying that's a maybe for you?
I think so. For me, I think it's a maybe. I need to look into it more. I need to see if what I need to do is Google saving cord blood and then the word scam to see if it's
which is the internet. You'll find a million results,
right?
And then you'll see it's going to be like the Planned Parenthood discussion where it's no, I saw a video. They're mixing it in the cafeteria spaghetti sauce.
So the hospital takes it, ships it directly to the closest elementary school.
Charges
me.
Yep.
And so then 3 years down the line, God forbid, when we need some of that cord blood, I instead get a jar of ragu sauce.
Yeah, you have to go down to the local pantry and buy, a near-dated jar of ragu.
Yeah, so for that one, I'm going to say undecided.
Annette is also undecided.
Oh! Do I know my wife or do I know my wife?
A little bit more minutia here, Steve. Do you want to save the placenta?
Personally, no.
You're not intrigued? Now, people do different things with the placenta.
Yeah, I know that they
you can
grind them up into
under
pills.
A tree. You can use it for your garden, things like that. That doesn't intrigue you. You don't want to save it for that.
No.
Annette? No interest.
No, I don't want
saving placenta.
I don't want a placenta tree in my yard.
You're also,
for one thing, the dogs will dig it up, and we'll be like, "What the hell's Toby got in his mouth?" Oh, that's the placenta.
In my mind, it's going to look like Toby's carrying around just an old, dirty plastic grocery bag, but it's not white, and he's just dragging it around the yard. And then, for some reason, I don't know why the hospital did this, there's a little bit of cord dragging behind it as well.
Of course, they didn't pack it right. Okay. 5 for 5, are you saying?
5 for 5. Will you be delaying the cord... I cannot say it. Will you be delaying cord clamping?
I don't know what that means. I know what clamping the cord is, but
So delayed cord clamping, Steve.
Yeah, explain it to me. I'm going to make a game time decision right here.
Is the practice of when the baby arrives in whatever fashion, waiting 2 to 5 minutes to clamp the umbilical cord while the rest of the blood pumps through the cord to the baby. Now, there's differing schools of thought. Obviously, this is something new.
I didn't even notice that the baby moves on the screen here.
Oh, on the video?
Yeah, it's an actual video. I thought it was a still shot. Look at that little baby cooing.
Look at that.
It's adorable.
So you delay it, and a couple health organizations say it improves blood flow in the baby by a percentage. But there's some people say that there's something that happens with the iron if you wait too long in the blood.
Okay, yeah, I don't want that.
Midwives, hippies, they say wait until blood starts pumping through the cord altogether.
Haven't discussed this one. I see some pros and cons, though.
Sure.
I'm going to say undecided on this one as well.
You're undecided, Steve? We're going to call that a match because Annette is going to wait for doctor approval.
Boom. Look at that.
Side question. I didn't include this one, and it's pretty basic. I didn't ask. I should have had it on here. You going to be cutting the cord, Steve? You talked about that? Are you? You're not overly squeamish.
No, I am. I think in that. I think.
Like roller coasters, eat an old country buffet. Go hit the corkscrew.
Yeah, I may have to have my shirt off in the delivery room, though, just in case I barf. I don't want to get my nice shirt all messed up.
Yeah, you're going to be dressed up. You're going to be the one idiot wearing a 3-button polo tucked into your jeans. Hey, guys, ready to have this baby today?
Oh, man. I think that I think I will cut the cord. Yeah, I think... But I'm definitely still staying north of the wall. So I'm going to have to, put the scissors in my hand.
Doc,
I'll just reach around.
me.
I'll just reach around. Yeah, they just take the cord, because I'm assuming they just hold it like a rope, and then just...
super flexible.
Yeah. Stick it in the scissors.
Yeah.
I'll chomp down.
You're right. It's usually 8 to 12 feet. part of it. So they can just bring it out.
Well, then get me some of those novelty scissors, like from ribbon cuttings.
They can run it out to you out in the family room, so you guys can get a memento.
So it'll still be connected, the whole, out the door, down the hallway.
Yeah, you're just jogging down the hallway with it. Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Want to get a picture?
Man, I think I will.
All right. Annette, is that something you want?
Did you cut the cord?
I did.
Okay.
I did. It's very fast.
Just like I did, or just like I'm planning, you snip.
It's like if you wanted to cut a piece of jelly.
Okay.
It's you're cutting it, sliding out the end of the scissors.
Boy, you're making it sound really appealing.
Annette, is this something you want? Do you want him to cut the cord? Is this a moment you want Steve to cut the cord of his first child?
Whatever he's comfortable with.
Drain the lifeblood from
stop
Annette's body to the baby's body. End that. Realize the only reason she exists now is because of you, and you can, really make the power play.
Okay, next question. Question number 7.
So you don't know yet. It's going to be a delivery room discussion.
Yeah, and like I said, if novelty scissors are in play, then yes.
We kind of went over this. I think the answer will be the same. Are you going to be... Do you want to use a doula or midwife or use the hospital staff?
No.
So that doesn't intrigue you.
I don't want your wizardry in my
You don't want,
room.
As I referred to Annette, or told Annette, you don't want Henrietta with the online certification.
No.
In there giving directions to the doctor who's been given birth for 30 years.
No, with her hocus pocus and fairy dust. Ooh, you gotta be calm.
Have you rubbed this stone on your shoulder?
Hey, can we put some essential oils in my diffuser, please?
And then put that in the oxygen that's going into my nose?
Big no.
Okay, so no one to do it. That absolutely lines up, Steve. Mm-hmm. That was the hardest of no's of all the questions I asked.
7 for 7.
Would you prefer, because this is a question, because there are some, probably similar science to that claims that vaccines give autism. Mm-hmm. There are people who claim that affects the baby's birth here. So what is your preferred method for pain management for your wife who's going through the delivery process? Again, I'm asking you, Steve, how you prefer your wife handles the pain. There's three options, I think, where you guys are giving birth. It's the same place we did. Mm-hmm. They're going to give you the options. You're going to have nitrous to get you through the contractions. So you put on the happy gas mask, just like you would at the dentist.
Yeah, like you're at the dentist.
Pain meds, which obviously isn't Tylenol or ibuprofen. It's going to be the upgraded levels of pain medications.
Mm-hmm.
Or lastly, the epidural, which it will numb you from the waist down.
Yes.
But makes it more comfortable, but obviously limits your movement. All of that. What do you prefer Annette has?
I prefer Annette has whatever is going to make her most comfortable.
That's the nice answer, Steve, but I'm asking you, how do you want your wife to handle the pain management giving birth to your daughter?
Boy, this one's tough. Because I think I know what... Well, we've briefly discussed this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she really wants to do the epidural because it's a big old needle right in the spine.
It's a big needle.
And I'd imagine that would be pretty weird not being able to feel half your body.
How do you think you would handle that? Would you handle that worse than her?
Terribly.
With her getting it, do you think you'd be better or worse than her getting the epidural?
Would I be better or worse than her?
Yeah, would you handle it? I mean, seeing the needle, because obviously it's in her back. She can't really see anything that's going on.
I'd probably, I think she'd probably be a little worse off than me.
You think would you leave the room, though? Would you be nervous about seeing it all?
Wouldn't leave the room.
Okay.
I wouldn't be like, snapping selfies with with the needle as it's going into the spine.
What is, you know what? The one thing she said was no epidural, Steve.
Yeah.
She just doesn't want the epidural. Well, she says now.
Well, isn't there also
feelings change?
There's like a certain threshold too, right? Like you can get the epidural.
That's a lot of.
Or is that
that's different. That's a movie TV type of based thing.
Like we're too late. You can't get the epidural.
You can get an epidural pretty far along into the process. They will do whatever they can to make this physically okay. I think the limit is like, hey, her head, she's coming out, and then Annette says epidural, because I think a lot of that, the reason for the delay is an epidural has to be so precise that you can't be moving at all. You have to be as still as humanly possible. So, if your contractions are 40 seconds apart, you're saying, okay, doc, go.
Right.
Giving him and it doesn't work, and there's more risk of nicking something and giving you a headache.
8 for 8.
Who will be changing the first diaper?
This is part of the birth plan?
Listen, you have to be talked about, that parenting starts minute 1, second 1, Steve.
I would imagine that it's going to be a team effort because we're not going to know what the hell we're doing.
Oh, you're going to tag team a diaper.
Yeah, like one of us holding the baby down.
Okay, so you're going to pin a 7-8 pound baby down on this, where the table they are on.
Yeah.
Because this, again, 6 to 8 pound
they squirm a lot,
newborn needs to be held down to get a diaper on.
Yeah.
Okay. Team effort, you're saying?
Team effort.
Would it surprise you to hear that Annette said probably Steve?
Really?
Kyle said I couldn't move much because I
It's going to be...
How quickly do I have to change the first diaper?
I mean, how often do you go to the bathroom?
Well, I mean, like when the baby...
Multiply it by 10.
So the baby is... How quickly did Reed need a diaper change?
I think it's pretty quick. Now, the only reason I think we came to the agreement that she thinks probably you is because right after birth, obviously the mother is drained, and if there is an epidural, she's not going to be able to get up and move around, and even still, walking might be an issue right away.
Yep.
So getting up and over and I'm forgetting what they call those. They're on wheels with the bassinet type of thing where the baby is in. It might fall on you no matter what. Again, that's all a blur, Steve. Sure. I would say a couple of hours. So you think you can get her up in a couple hours?
Yeah. She'll be up and
you're just
running around.
You're going to be testing all the bed settings. No, you can get high enough.
it just lifts it up, so it just dumps her out of the bed.
Like a Murphy bed. It just folds
but the opposite way.
And shoots her out so she can change the diaper.
All right. 8 for 9.
Now, this is, we kind of had a sidebar, Steve. We were discussing.
Shocking. I'm shocked that there was a sidebar.
Who do you think is going to have a more difficult time with the diaper changing process? You or Annette? Now
I think she might. You're talking about just like the overall unpleasantness?
Yeah, doing it like it. Because, listen,
I think,
nobody's waking up going, God, can't wait to change this kid's diaper.
I think it might be Annette.
Would it shock you to hear?
She said me.
She said you.
Oh, really?
I cleaned up the majority.
She said... Now,
yeah, I know, but every time you do it, you're like...
Yeah, because you're across the room and you can't even make it close to the bar.
So, and this is the discussion we had. I compared it to, like, hey, you have dogs, you clean up, they have accidents, whether it be throw up or otherwise, whatever, and you have to clean it up off the carpet or the hardwood. And she said that 95% of the time she does that because you don't stomach it well.
Nah, I don't know.
It's like me when the neighbors come over. With the pet bar, you leave.
I do not leave.
When Steve goes to try to talk to,
That's unfair. I do not.
Johnny the dumpster holder.
Leave.
Steve's I gotta go for a jog. Steve, you haven't jogged since the marathon 3. No, I'm getting into it. I got my left shoe on already.
You got like jeans and work boots on.
I don't even need the right shoe. I'm so excited to run.
All right, well, 8 for 10. That's not bad.
That was just the sidebar.
Oh,
I was just curious about the discussion.
8 for 9, so we still got a chance.
But obviously, that is going to be a point of discussion.
Yeah,
and it's not really discussion. It is what it is.
Yeah.
There's going to be days where she's working, you're taking care of your child, and you have to change the diaper, unless you just, slap another one on top and assume that.
Yeah, exactly. You can do that, right?
Yeah, or just put newspaper.
Yeah,
on
just
the ground,
layer them up. Yeah, get pee-pee pads.
Just the whole house.
Yeah, we'll get them at PetSmart.
Like, Annette comes home one day just distraught, like, Steve, I looked. Where did our bank account is down to nothing. What have you been doing? Like, I see you've been spending $200 a day at Meijer. And you're like, oh, yeah, I just been buying dog pee pads.
Yeah.
And I figure I'll let her run around and do what she needs to do.
Perfect solution.
Last question, Steve. Will you be sleeping in the hospital room while Annette stays there with the baby?
I plan to.
You're staying in the room?
Yeah. Annette
said probably. So she didn't even have faith in you willing to do that.
Yeah, I will.
And now her faith is even more shattered knowing that, you're sprinting to the other town to go find a Jeep part if there's a dirty diaper inbound.
Look, the only reason I wouldn't be there is if we finally get an offer on the Jeep. And I have to meet the person.
Honey, I'm sorry.
At the shipping yard.
Listen, the kid's 4 hours old. What do you need me to do?
She's not going to know that I'm not here.
I'm talking money back at a slight loss.
Yeah, we got to pay for this kid. We got to pay for this.
For not discussing it, 9 out of 10. That's impressive.
Are we good or are we good?
You're pretty darn good. Now, obviously, there's many more, and I told you before we even started recording. There's questions on birth plans that
maybe over the course of the next 3.5 months, you can just sprinkle them in. One or two an episode.
Because I cut this down to 10 to try to save time. Didn't accomplish it.
Like if we're transitioning from one topic to the next, you can just be like, by the way,
lob in a
have you thought about
question.
This?
Because there are, and there's some, not technical ones, but ones that aren't, really opinion-based kind of, that I didn't want to put in here and have them be a total bore. So, hey, that's impressive, though. It's 88%. Congratulations.
Hey, we were 9 for 10. That's 90%.
90%. Sorry, I thought you were 8 and 9. I apologize.
90.
If you want to take out the sidebars, closer to 8 out of 12 or 9 out of 12.
Well,
but, yeah, it's what it is.
Those were sidebars. That's determined by you. So
sidebars don't count towards the
now,
score. Annette, are you okay with the answers? There's nothing. Do you think now as a post note, is there anything, either of you, that you think might be a point of contention when discussing, the birth plan or, hospital plans or doctor plans?
Oh, I'm sure that there will be disagreements.
Sure.
It's just on stuff that I don't even know about yet.
So to recap the disagreements in your marriage, it's been drywall, crockpot, and
pictures.
First look pictures. You guys are really hammer home the main issues that break up marriages, like money, infidelity.
Yeah. Money, infidelity, no issues there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Crock-pots and pictures.
Crock-pots, yeah. You want to make my beanie weenies in a new crock-pot as opposed to the one that we have.
I can't wait for 2020 when we have to do this podcast in Steve's apartment because you guys are on a trial separation because Steve hung a decoration on the wrong wall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I think we're good. We're
Annette, you don't think there's going to be anything that comes up, or well, again, you can't think or know that, but any point of contention for you where you're like, I'm kind of steadfast in this, and I'm the one giving birth, that you're afraid Steve might not agree with?
No, I think we're both on the same page, and we have the same ideas for the most part.
Oh, I can't wait for birth classes for you guys.
And I have
you guys you're enrolled.
Yeah,
couple classes, 2 of them.
3, I think.
3.
Is it 3 hours?
Yeah, well, one of them's like the infant CPR, right?
Okay. I was gonna say, so you're not doing the same one that I did, which was 3 hour classes.
No, it's
at the hospital.
One Saturday,
okay.
Longer chunk.
Okay. Good.
Can't wait.
Big waste of money if you did the one. I don't even know the money. Waste of time. Hideous.
Yeah, I've like the little that we have talked about the whole birth plan thing. I've basically said, I'll have my opinion. She'll have her opinion, but I will always defer.
Right. She's going to be the question answer in that regard. Annette, are you nervous like Steve's nervous because you now have this time? I brought it up to him on the podcast. You have this gap now where you've bought a few items, you've registered, but really you can't do anything until the shower in August and then the birth in September. Are you going to be running up a wall? Are you nervous? Like, hey, we don't have enough done. We're not ready. Are you the same way? Not
so much nervous, more antsy.
Because I'm surprised Steve isn't knocking a wall out just to do something. Like I'll get, I discussed that I still think he's going to give the newborn its own bathroom. I think to do a project.
There will be one more renovation that goes on before the
birth, because 3.5 months, so let's call it 12 weeks, 13 weeks from now.
Yeah.
And you have no projects on the books for as of now.
Well, there's one that, yes, we do want to do.
Want to.
Yeah, and we have like supplies purchased for
big project, little
bedroom. So floors, paint, trim.
If the track record holds, he'll have you running the saw, carrying lumber up 3 flights of stairs, maybe climbing a rope while you're at it. Had you picking rocks a month ago.
Sticks. It was sticks.
I'm sorry, yeah. And had you moving rocks in the lawn boat that we discussed. Well, thank you very much, Annette. I'm surprised.
Thank you, dear.
Thanks.
I'm surprised.
Good job. We did it.
That's very good.
America's perfect couple.
You guys presumably won't be divorced while she's giving birth over disagreements. No, I said no epidural. Well, I want the epidural.
This goes against the plan. Oh man, I was pretty nervous about that.
That's kind of the only thing that kind of took me back was nobody in the room, other than you two and the doctor and the medical staff.
So was that a disagreement you guys had?
No, not a disagreement at all.
Okay. How would you guys have done? How would you and Katie have done if you had taken this quiz a year ago?
I think we would have done okay. I don't think she's a nurse, so I don't think there was going to be any question about her wanting a midwife or doula or a water birth. No, she wanted it, as medically normal and in a hospital bed as possible. Now, that's not saying anything against people who do it that way. Mm-hmm. People prefer to give birth different ways, and they think it's better. That's fine. But those questions we were going to. But if you had asked me 1 year ago, not 1 year, 1 year ago, about cord blood, cord clamping, no idea.
I had heard of, I knew that keeping the cord blood was a thing. I had no idea about cord clamping. You saying that was the first time I had ever heard that.
If you had asked me about the pain management thing, using nitrous oxide, using pain medications or an epidural.
So that's basically tier 1, tier 2, tier 3.
So they'll have the thing in nitrous right next to it, and when a contraction's coming, you
take
leave
a huff,
the mask on, and you breathe through.
So how long will I be breathing through the mask?
And by the way, listen, I know there's rules and everything at these hospitals. It was like 10 times they had to make sure you do not touch the mask. You cannot have the mask on. and she has to hold the mask on her face because as soon as she can't, that means she shouldn't have it on anymore anyway.
And I'm assuming that part of that is so that way she doesn't feel as though she's being forced to or being...
Well, that too, and they don't want too much. Like, if you don't need it, like, hey, if you've gotten enough in your system that you're, falling asleep
flying
right
high,
now, then they don't want you to do any more.
Okay.
But I would have just said, I just had the epidural. So
I was surprised.
Women,
I was surprised the other day because this came up the other day, and she said, "Yeah, I really don't want to get the epidural," and I was shocked by that. I'm like, okay,
I think that's the standard thinking now, and I think it's the similar, like, it numbs you. And now Katie had an epidural, not planned, but we got to a certain point where we were at an impasse, and so she had the epidural, and I think in hindsight she's happy she did because it's like. I have a feeling it's kind of like when you go to the chiropractor or you get some, oh man, I've had these just terrible headaches, and they crack something just the right way, and it's like, holy cow,
yeah,
I feel great. So it changed her outlook for the better.
Sure,
and she was up and moving that evening. So
now, if she, like Annette said, she does not want it, full support of it.
Sure.
But if at some point she says, I do want it, great, let's do it. Whatever's going to make her more comfortable, whatever's going to be safest for the baby.
Certainly.
So
that's what she obviously said. That's what everybody's, whatever it takes to get the happiest, healthiest baby possible. Whether that's an epidural.
Yeah, I'll defer
C-section.
to doctors on a lot of stuff too.
Yeah,
like I know a lot of people, like idiots who think that autism is caused by vaccinations.
You're dumb.
Yeah, like
you're very dumb.
You looked at Google for an hour, maybe two.
You listened to a Playboy model who hosted Singled Out.
Right.
Reevaluate things.
You're stupid, so it sucks that you're that dumb. Where was I? I don't even know what I was talking about.
You said you had looked. You said you're going to defer to doctors, Steve.
Yeah, because they're the ones
that do this.
They're the ones that have training.
Sure,
they've gone through this before, probably a dozen times, like that week already. They've been in that situation.
Yeah, I know the desired outcome is typically never a C-section or having an epidural, but birth plans and things change once you get to the hospital. So we will follow up, Steve. Again, 3.5 months, 14 weeks.
Woo!
About 13 to 14 weeks away.
Yeah, we're 25 weeks yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
It is.
You now have, again, a 2-month waiting period before the baby shower to see what you receive from other people.
Yep. Yeah, we put together a crib the other day. The crib and the dresser showed up. And in the biggest, heaviest boxes ever.
Sure.
I put the crib together, then went downstairs to unpack the box for the dresser, opened it up, and the first piece right on top was broken.
Good start. Bought
Great
from one
start.
of the local stores or whatever that shipped it to you. Okay.
So I had to call them. Luckily, they were really cool about it. They're like, all right, well, we're shipping out a new one right now.
Right.
It'll be here tomorrow. All I had to do was just tape the other box up, drag it back out onto the porch, and they picked it up the next morning. So, yeah, it's weird. It's seeing the crib in there. Now when I walk by that room every day and I see the crib in there, that's the, like, okay, this isn't like spare room for when mom's in town.
Right.
This is a nursery. We picked up some frames yesterday for some pictures that we have that are going to go up on the walls. And, it's crazy.
Man, I can't wait. I can't wait to relive this through you 1 year, essentially so we're 1 year later.
Doing live episode from the hospital, no doubt.
Yep. They got a family room. I'm assuming my brother Mike will be in town there shortly after.
Yeah. So basically, I'll be on the air or on the mic until like the last possible second, and then I'll hand over the headphones. I'll tag my brother in. You guys continue. Business
Seamless.
as usual.
Seamless. Shouldn't notice any gaps in coverage.
And then at some point, I will come out and, like the old movies, I'll have cigars in my hand.
Yeah.
And we'll do firm handshakes, and then we'll light up cigars right there in the hospital.
Labour-thon 2019.
Labour-thon 2019.
That'll be Kyle and brother Mike.
Is that the same weekend that he was going to come out for like a Notre Dame game?
I don't know. You ruined that, man. You ruined our family. You ruined the family vacation.
I just told you it's
big jerk.
I'm fine with it.
Didn't even consider it.
Baby's not even going to be like doing anything.
Now,
Steve, that'll be able to handle her.
You're the old-fashioned type, so I'm assuming you've discussed this with Annette and you've gone over it. You're just going to be like Mike Francesa this past week.
Oh, my God.
You're going to be back to work the next day.
It's
Annette's going to give birth on a Wednesday. You'll be back in Thursday morning at the side gig.
It's funny you mention that. That's actually one of my Fast Five for this week.
Sorry. I didn't mean to step on the toes
No,
there.
it's quite all right. I assumed that you had seen that as well.
Yeah.
Mike Francesa used the birth announcement of a coworker's child to complain
about paternity leave.
About paternity leave and the radio station he works for.
Back in the day, me and Dog, we were back the next day.
Hey, yeah, Dog's wife had a baby. He was here that day. He was on the air that day. I don't know what the big deal is. And I got all these rules where you got 6 months off. I mean, what's the deal with 6 months off? What do you need that for? Baby should be working. It's
absolutely insane. So, yeah, I'm assuming you'll be back to work within hours.
Yeah, oh, yeah, right back to work. Now, it's funny because if the baby, which probably won't happen because they say that most first child is usually 2-term.
It's more than likely, and again, everybody's different, more than likely not going to happen very early.
See, and if she comes early, that would be kind of a bummer because that's during my vacation. Kind of hoping that she comes like right on time, so that way I got vacation, then I'm back to work for like a week and a half.
Grinded for a week, and then you're
then off again. How long did you take off?
So we went in Wednesday at 1 a.m. Which again, if you can just have her talk with her. Hey, 7:30. 8 a.m., something like that. Give a nice night's rest, and then we can go in.
Well, no, see, it's got to be a little earlier than that because I don't want to drive to work and then have to turn around and drive back.
Yeah, so you thinking like 4:30? Maybe she can start giving you hints.
I'm out the door at 4, so if she can start having contractions maybe 2, then I'm like, all right, cool.
At least to the point where like, hey, something's not the same as it was yesterday. We should probably go in, make that decision anywhere between 2 and 3:30 for you.
Yes, yeah. So that way I don't waste the gas driving to work. Look, man, that's like 11 miles.
Oh, you just scoot. You'll be in scoot season.
It's true. It is the tail end of scoot season, man. I tried to get the scoot started last week. Still no luck.
Is the scoot dead?
No, the scoot is not dead. The scoot, the place that I got it, I talked to the guy recently, and I was like, yeah, I tried to start it a couple weeks ago. Couldn't get it running. He's like, bring it in. We'll get it tuned up and ready for scoot season for free. And the only problem is I don't have like a trailer to put it on, and it'd just be a pain in the ass. So I'm hoping I can just get it started on my own.
So you look at that, every 4 or 5 days, like, I'll spend half hour on it, realize nothing happens. Repeat.
Pretty much.
So, we went in Wednesday morning. So I took off Wednesday work, Thursday work, Friday work. We didn't come home until Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's different. Different hospital will have a recommendation.
Well, plus it depends on
feeding issues,
C-section
and how the mom's
or not.
doing. Yep. And I went back to work that following Wednesday. So I was off for 1 week.
Okay.
But it didn't feel like it because when you're in the hospital for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, coming home midday Saturday, you're really only home for like 3.5 days.
Yeah.
And it's like, back to the regular schedule. And you're not ready. So 1 week is not enough. Now, I'm not saying that, the father needs, they need 12 weeks, whatever. I don't care. If that's offered to you and you can do it, you should.
Yeah.
Like that's a tremendous ability to be able to do that, to be able to spend time and go through everything with your spouse and with your child. I would have loved 2 weeks.
Yeah. I think
and I could have. Now again, everybody, you're granted family medical leave, Steve. You could take it, not get paid for it. If
technically,
you
I don't think my employer has to give FMLA because that's only for companies with like more than 50 people.
Oh wow! So you're not employed. You're the one of the very few employees of Dainty Hunchback.
Yeah, I think
LLC.
Technically I'm one of. I might be one. Well, I'm one of one full-time employees.
Right. So you're not. So okay. So you might just have what
they may be pretty hard-nosed on it.
Yeah, and they are. I've seen them act like that. I'll tell you, hey. It's Friday already. Been off since Thursday.
Yeah, where you been?
Website has been updated in 16 hours. I need my clicks.
Yeah.
Got a funny new video we got to put up there.
I would anticipate, I don't know, probably a week.
Somewhere in a week. And it
somewhere
might
in the
depend,
neighborhood.
too, because, I mean, it's not going to be, it might be, but it's not like it's scheduled. Like, oh, it'll be, Friday at 3 o'clock, I'm done.
Right.
And then you'll have the next week off. There's a good chance it'll be Wednesday, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then it'll be kind of a half week here and a half week there, and then you're back.
Uh-huh.
And it's weird. And again, it will not feel like enough to you. It will not. You're going to go back, and you're probably going to feel guilty. I shouldn't be back yet.
My brain will obviously be elsewhere.
Sure.
So,
well, you're in that high drive field, really urgent.
Yeah, I mean, lot of important stuff goes on at my job.
You know what they say is, like finance, it doesn't stop. Things like that. Stock market doesn't stop because you had a baby.
Radio never stops.
That's what they say about broadcast radio in 2019.
Yep.
Well, that's that. Listen, happy. Glad your guys' quizzes hopefully didn't drive a wedge between this marriage and upcoming birth.
Yeah, that would be a bummer.
This is the top percentage time for divorce, Steve.
Yeah, like this where I am right now?
Oh, I have no idea.
I was going to say, the way you worded that doesn't seem like how the top percentage time for divorce.
The highest, most divorces the last 20 years come within 6 months of giving birth or having given birth.
Huh.
Believe that.
Didn't I? If I can believe that. If I can.
So, I'm glad this one turned out. We don't need you you guys splitting up over this. Again, I don't want to do the podcast in your one-bedroom apartment with this same table.
Right, yeah, because this is going to be
your dinner table.
My kitchen table.
But it's too big.
But it's also...
So you've sawed it in half.
Yeah, it's also a changing table, too.
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
All right, first on my list, Godzilla.
I want to see it. Now the reviews aren't tremendous.
Reviews aren't great.
I'm a sucker for that type of movie. That looks like just an absolute blast to watch.
Next, Mike Francesa. The
How
sports
does
pope,
that dinosaur,
New York City.
How is he still like the same? And people, I mean, the fact that it's a ratings war with him and Michael K. Or no, not Michael K.
Yeah,
Is it
Michael K. Yeah,
is tremendous. Is one of the most stunning things to me ever.
Well,
I don't understand.
Well, K has closed the gap.
He won.
He
he
did beat him
supposedly,
but there's all this controversy depending on if you include streaming numbers. Blah 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 blah.
But
blah.
streaming numbers on Francesa's app only,
right?
Not like the radio station app or whatever. It's imagine carrying this much. He's a dinosaur for that industry.
Mm-hmm. Next, R. Kelly facing a whole lot of new charges, facing up to like 30 or 40 years in prison.
Now, it doesn't matter. Don't worry, because I'm sure, a million of his weirdo supporters will pay for him to get out of jail, and he'll be fine.
Well, did you see that he got out of not showing up for a court appearance because he claimed he was illiterate?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, this is like a month ago.
Man.
He didn't show up for some mandatory court appearance.
Everybody claims
and
that
he was
justice...
like, oops, I'm illiterate. I couldn't read the thing that I got in the mail. Like, you're telling me that this man doesn't have somebody that's going to tell him, hey, you got to be in court today.
Anybody who wants to claim the justice system works the same for you, me, and for R. Kelly needs to look no further than that.
Yeah.
I mean, the next true test of that will be two really wealthy white women being sentenced in a college bribery scandal this fall, and we'll see if they spend 1 second in jail.
Next, the NBA Finals. Toronto leads that series 1-0.
How is this still going on? It's June.
And it's only one game in. Like, game 2, I think, is tonight.
Yeah, they play baseball 162 times from April 1st until the middle of October.
So in theory, that series could still be going on next Sunday when we record?
In theory. Oh, it almost assuredly will.
Because it's every other day, I'm assuming. So
they played Thursday.
What?
And again, they didn't travel either. So normally what will happen, they'll give you one extra day if you're traveling to the other team's arena. Mm-hmm. So it'll be, Monday, Wednesday, and then if you're traveling,
where's Toronto?
Saturday.
Toronto's
in Canada.
Yeah. But geographically,
It's closer to us, so it's like if you were going through Detroit or Windsor,
okay. Yeah,
I think
course.
from here it's about 5 or 6 hours. So you'll give an extra day for travel
So that's
for those
kind of
days.
a long plane ride. So it's probably a 5-hour plane ride from.
But there's
Los
no
Angeles.
plane ride from Toronto to Toronto because games 1 and 2 are both in Toronto.
Oh, huh.
So
All
they
right.
went from Thursday
To
waited
Sunday.
until Sunday. Now then they play again Wednesday, but then Friday. So Wednesday, Friday, and then Monday, and then Wednesday, and Saturday. So it's very odd. I don't understand it, but these go on way too long.
Yeah.
Way too long.
And finally, the USS John McCain.
Well, there's no more to be said about the pettiness there, right? The Navy has confirmed there was a request made, but nobody's going to admit who made that request. His president is denying it. Somebody made the request. The Navy's confirmed it to conceal the name of a massive battleship, so the president didn't have to see the name John McCain.
Now, did the ship have to be? Because I've read reports saying that they had to conceal the name, but then also that they moved the ship.
The initial claim was that they moved the ship. The Navy claims that wasn't true, but that there was a request made and it was kind of hidden in formation in between other ships so that it wasn't very visible.
Okay, that seems pretty.
It's the pinnacle of petty.
It is.
I mean, it's a
like
man.
the guy's already dead.
He's dead, and he is a recognized war hero and political servant. This is the weirdest feud I've ever seen.
Yeah. All right. Before that, we the NBA Finals. You still standing by your?
Is that 5?
Yeah. Godzilla, Francesa,
yeah.
R. Kelly, NBA Finals,
Well,
John McCain.
yeah, happens fast.
That's the Fast Five. So I think you had made the huge prediction that Golden State would win that
In 4 or 5.
Okay, well they could still win it in 5.
Yeah, I do still think Golden State will win in 5. It might go to 6 now once they gave away a game on the road. Kevin Durant's still not back, and
KD, they call him
K-Dur.
K-Dur. I'm trying to change that.
DeMarcus Cousins back, but in a limited fashion. Seems like
played
if he
football.
that's Kirk.
Oh,
And DeMarcus Cousins and Kirk Cousins.
Are they
now that I
related?
think about it,
related?
couldn't be more of polar opposites in
So
terms
not
of
related.
everything.
Okay.
Boogie Cousins back after doing something to a hamstring or something a few weeks ago. So I think once he gets back into the fold here.
Boogie Cousins was an NFL or a football commentator.
No, you're thinking of Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights the movie?
Yeah, that's what you're thinking of.
You sure that there's not a
There is.
commentator?
There's Booger McFarland.
Booger McFarland.
So to recap-
I thought he did the voice on South Park.
So to recap, DeMarcus Cousins, doesn't he play football? Boogie Cousins, isn't he a football commentator?
Uh-huh.
Booger McFarland, isn't that a voice on South Park?
Yeah. I think I'm right on at least one of them.
Nailed it. That's your NBA Finals analysis.
R. Kelly was third on the Fast Five.
Is this going to finally be what puts him in jail?
I hope.
It has to be,
just
right?
Seems like a
11 new-
freaking terrible person.
11 new charges. It seems like he's actually finally broke.
Good.
And these charges seem like they may be the ones that will stick.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole where there's smoke, there's fire.
Sure.
At some point, something has to be true.
Right.
Something's got to stick. Mike Francesa before that.
Yeah, we talked
Doesn't
about it.
believe that people should take time off for the birth of children.
Is that surprising?
No, it's not, because I'm sure he didn't. And
Because, listen.
well, he's got to be 60-something. I'm assuming
Yeah.
he's in his 60s. So I wonder how, like, looking back, I wonder how much time my dad took off for the birth of me and my brother and sister.
Well, that's not comparable because, as we talked about just a few minutes ago, Steve, broadcast radio doesn't stop.
That's true. Yeah, it's nonstop action.
And especially when you're talking sports,
going at it as hard as he
going at
can.
it as hard as you can, you don't have time.
Mike
Listen,
Francesa
Yankees
on
probably
the
lost a game in June. Who's going to talk about that on a Thursday if
Yeah.
Francesa takes the day off?
Ugh. You know, I'm starting to come around.
Yeah.
I think that...
He'll be back the next day. Good man. Mm-hmm. Good man.
and before that, Godzilla was the first on the
I need to
list.
see it. Obviously, movies are a bit more difficult with the newborn. But Godzilla is one that I want to see. I enjoy a monster movie. I love a monster movie.
What are the bad reviews focusing on? Just
characters.
Bad
all the
plot,
characters say that it so focuses on the monsters, and it's mostly enjoyable to see that. But there's zero character story worth following about the human characters there. Also, that similar complaint to Game of Thrones, too dark.
Okay.
So people are saying still waiting to see the full Godzilla because every time he appears, it's too dark.
Okay, so not like a dark plot.
No, not like, not hey, whoa, this is a bit sad and
no, but like actually
physically dark.
Yeah. All right.
Fast five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Toronto Raptors.
Oh boy, Kawhi Leonard and
can they do it, Steve?
The rest of his team.
Really, you're not too far off. Can they do it?
You know,
we'll find out on the turnaround.
I have so much to talk about, too.
Stay tuned for Steve's post-game 1 NBA Finals prediction.
By the way, did you hear a couple weeks ago Francesa breaking down like one of the NBA series?
Oh, no.
And he talked for like 15 or 20 seconds, but didn't actually say anything. He was like, Golden State and whoever they were playing, They're trying real hard. They're giving it all they got.
It's pretty established now that he doesn't really watch sports at all. A clip came out 1 or 2 weeks ago that he fell asleep again.
Yeah, he did. Definitely did.
There's a Twitter account, and I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's somebody back after this.
Yeah.
He posts the videos of Francesa being dumb nearly daily. So
love it.
That is worth your time if you're interested in watching the downfall of an industry dinosaur in Mike Francesa. After that, this is a new ad, Steve. You might not be familiar. Anthony Joshua. Did you hear anything about this?
The name sounds familiar, but I don't know why. Anthony Joshua.
Big news last night.
More about that.
On the turnaround. Godzilla.
Does
that interest you? Or are you a monster movie guy? Or is this an airplane movie for you?
Airplane movie. Yeah,
airplane
that's a
for sure.
Very good description of it. If I'm flipping through, like, what do they got here? Oh, Godzilla. Yeah, I'll watch that.
Not something that you're going to go seek out or like.
Probably
not appointment movie theater viewing for you like A Star Is Born was.
No. I don't know. I'm just, as we've talked about numerous times, I'm not into the whole superhero or like
horror movies.
Horror movies. Yeah. Boo. Bats.
Maths.
Maybe a hatchet.
And a mask.
Fake blood.
Oh, good. Adding details to your horror movie.
Yeah.
You're halfway to a script. After that, Steve, the spelling bee. Where do you stand in the controversy?
Oh, 8-way tie for first.
How dumb, though, right?
How'd that happen?
So they limited it.
They don't like. There are a lot of words.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think they did this a couple of years ago to limit the time that this might take. So they go 20 rounds. They go 20 rounds, final rounds or whatever, and however many people are standing, they're winners. So there were 8 co-winners of the Scripps Howard National Spelling Bee.
I think that it's basically it's a look at society these days. Everybody's getting soft, snowflakes, Mayor Pete, kind of like you. Everybody gets a trophy. Barack Obama, Clinton,
healthcare,
yeah.
Why don't you go up there and slap a ribbon on Annette's belly? She's already won. Lastly, Steve, I'll have to remember why I even put this on there. Oh, I remember. North Korea. Follow this at all?
I don't know. What'd they do in the last week?
Sounds like there's a purge being done right now of senior, not analysts, but the people who were involved in the February summit with Trump that collapsed, being purged. And by purge, I mean being murdered.
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un blaming the staff for the reason that broke down in February, so they're being murdered.
Oh. Well, I mean, that should not come as a surprise because that's kind of the way North Korea deals with things.
What's happened there for decades since the fall of United Korea and the Korean War in the 50s. Zero denouncement from the government about if this is happening and it should stop.
Good. Yeah,
that's he's still actually, I believe Trump was asked, and he still said that he values his friendship with Kim Jong-un. For that, the spelling bee, the 8-way tie. If you want to go upstairs and reward your unborn daughter for winning.
Yeah.
Because that's where we're at, Steve.
Just as much of a winner as everyone else.
They all get $50,000, though. They all get the prize money.
That's not so bad.
So they don't care.
Yeah.
I did see it was, I think, 6 boys.
Is that cash? Or is like a scholarship?
It's got to be like it goes into a college fund or whatever.
Snooze.
6 boys, 2 girls. I want to say 7 appeared to be of Indian descent. How are they that much better at it than us? Like the Indian descent.
I don't know.
How are they so good at spelling?
We're just so stupid. Why are we so dumb? We're so bad at everything.
Were you a good speller? I was a really good speller. I still am.
I think I was an okay speller.
I was in the school spelling bee.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You win?
Oh, yeah.
You won the spelling bee?
I won like 4th grade. No big deal.
This is information you're just 150 episodes in.
It's no big deal.
And we haven't been introducing you as 4th grade spelling bee champion, Kyle.
People go to regionals. People don't go to regionals. What do you want to say?
So you went to regionals?
I think so. This is a long time ago.
What? Give me timeline. Timeline wise, is this right along the time that you're a conflict negotiator?
Oh yeah, a conflict manager. Oh yeah, I was the light of that school till they burnt the soul out of me. Conflict manager, winning spelling bees, telling kids to screw off.
Screw off, huh?
For that Godzilla, Steve, the new movie, looks like it underperformed at the box office.
Didn't do great from what I've read.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters, bringing back a lot of the mythological monsters from Godzilla's past in the Japanese movies mostly.
Sure. Godzilla, of course, the creature who climbs buildings with women in each hand. Right?
You say that jokingly, Steve. Next year, 2020, Godzilla vs. Kong.
Really?
Yeah.
Has that been done before?
Out. No, I don't believe so.
That's okay.
This is a shared universe that they started creating to not much success. But the culmination, which will be Kong vs. Godzilla, will be in theaters next year.
Okay. See? Look at that. Finger on the pulse of everything that no one cares about.
Oof. Boy, that's... Yeah.
I mean...
Just think if I could find one thing people cared about. Might matter. Ouch.
Is that it?
Right on the chin. No, Anthony Joshua.
Okay, I don't know about this.
Heavyweight boxer, the largest upset in a heavyweight championship fight, Steve, since Mike Tyson Buster Douglas happened last night. Anthony Joshua lost to I want to say it was Anthony. I don't even know the guy's name. Anthony Ruiz.
Okay.
Who, pull up a picture. Google right now, Anthony Joshua fight. Actually, you know what? I can even send you a clip, Steve, because the last minute of the fight was posted by Bleacher Report, and it is something to see because this is a guy who hasn't. Anthony Joshua is known. There's like a 3-headed monster in the heavyweight division.
Texting it.
I will text it to you. Okay. There is a 3-headed monster in the heavyweight boxing world. It's Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, and Tyson Fury. Now, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fought last year. That was a massive fight, did big business. And it has everybody wants them all to fight and kind of run to see who the best heavyweight is. Well, they're all 3 as boxing will happen. Different promoters. Anthony Joshua with I don't even know who with. Fought the definition of a tomato can last night, Steve. The definition of a tomato can. A guy who fought...
Oh, are you talking about the Destroyer?
Yes.
The man with that very round belly?
Butterbean-esque.
Very Butterbean-esque.
And he absolutely battered one of the top heavyweights in the world.
58-57 in favor of Ruiz. The last
Destroyer not looking great.
Round, Brian, I think Anthony Joshua threw one punch, and that was at the very end.
Oh, that hook. Almost landing in the right hand from Ruiz. And now a barrage. The champ's in trouble. And down he goes.
He won? The fat guy won?
Third knockdown of the fight.
So Joshua gets up.
Yeah.
Obviously he's hurt, right? He took some loud punches there. So that was his that was the 3rd knockdown of the fight. Joshua had been knocked down 3 times.
All right. Something must happen because there's another 30 seconds left in this clip.
Not quite a wink, but he flashes his eyebrows. He better throw his hands. The champ is in trouble. Look for an overhand right here, Brian. Joshua with the hard jab. Trying to answer.
Down again.
And you see him.
Joshua looks gassed.
He gets up and moves right to his corner.
Came flying out of his mouth.
That's pretty much he needs the corner to hold himself up. So the referee waves the fight off.
Hey! He's been down 4 times.
Goes to the corner.
Joshua turning to his corner. He's got to be careful here. He's got to stay engaged. Where is his mouthpiece?
You ready to box?
Joshua looks so tired. I think he wants out. That's it. He says that's it.
Wow.
Andy Ruiz is the heavyweight champion.
Andy Ruiz, the Destroyer, a man who fought on April 20th. Now, heavyweight boxing and championship boxing, they don't fight that often.
No, they fight like, what, twice a year maybe?
Like 2 or 3 times a year tops. I mean, nobody's really Mayweather level who would fight once a year if he wanted to. But yeah, one of the biggest upsets in championship boxing history.
Wow.
Andy Ruiz, the new heavyweight champion.
Good for Anthony Ruiz.
Andy, who knows?
Andy
Is it Andy?
Ruiz. It's Andy Ruiz.
It is Andy Ruiz. Okay. Yeah, I love boxing.
That's
and
so cool.
Seeing that happen last night, tremendous to see, tremendous to watch.
Oh, that's great.
And before that, lastly, Steve, so we can get out of here, the Toronto Raptors. Finally get to your prediction after one game of the finals. Can the Raptors do it?
Oh, boy. Can they do it? You know, I'll tell you what.
Sorry. Kawhi, they do it?
All right. I'll tell you what I have to think. What I have to say about the Raptors.
Oh my! Come on!
What are the chances?
How does that happen?
Every week, just as I'm about to get to my hot sports Tate.
Stay tuned next week for Steve's official NBA Finals prediction.
My official sports Tate.
That'll be 4 games in. Steve willing to let you know, can the Raptors do it?
Thanks for listening to another episode. You can download, subscribe, and review the show on iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Libsyn, Spotify. So we got an email we can now export to radio.com as well.
Radio.com. We still, for whatever reason, iHeartRadio still won't allow us on there, but radio.com, we are there.
You can call or text your questions, your comments, or concerns, 424-30-SK-POD. It's 424-307-5763. On all social media, at Steve and Kyle. Thanks for listening. Anything else? You got anything else on the...
That's it. Hopefully new designs very, very soon. SteveandKyle.com/merch. Philip's on the clock.
We'll talk to you next week.